रिकॉर्डिंग शुरू कर दी है, वो रिकॉर्डिंग शुरू, ठीक है। पढ़ना शुरू कर दो, 1 2।
Good morning, students. Today we will read chapter 1 of the unit Growing Up. Monday morning blues is the name of the chapter. So student, what do you mean by Monday morning blues? Beta, Monday morning blues has a symbolic meaning. This word blues means suffering, painful things, these kinds of the things. Monday morning blues, so this whole phrase suggests that the weekend has passed and a new week is coming to take up the work again, right? Now let us see why the character in the story is referring it Monday morning blues. Monday mornings always found Tom Sawyer miserable, because with it began another week's slow suffering in school. So, as you know, the Tom Sawyer is a character. He is a schoolboy. Whenever he wakes up on Monday, he found these morning very miserable. So now you come to know about the topic Monday morning blues. It means the weekend has passed joyfully and now Monday has begun, which is announcing the whole 1 week suffering. Tom lay in bed and thought, if I were sick, I could stay away from school. As you know, the Tom Sawyer never likes to go to school. He thinks that it is a bad experience to go to school. So he is thinking of some excuses by which he can avoid himself from going to school. So he is thinking, if I were sick, so I could stay away from school. I could tell my aunt that I am sick and I won't go to school and go fishing, and see what he will do. He'll not go to school. He'll go for fishing. So Tom Sawyer is the boy who likes to spend his days outside just playing, catching fishes and moving with friends. He thought further about it. But despite all his attempts to detect some symptoms, he could not find anything wrong with himself. Now he thoroughly examined himself. But despite means in spite of all his attempts means efforts. In spite of doing all efforts, he could not detect to find out any of the reason under which he could tell his aunt that he would not go to school. His hopes began to fail. He was losing the hope because no excuse was coming to his mind. Suddenly he discovered something. One of his upper front teeth was loose. What did he discover? His upper front teeth was loose. It was moving. He decided to use it as an excuse for not going to school. So he thought that this would be a nice excuse, this would be a nice thing that he will not go to school. He will tell his aunt that his tooth is paining. He was about to start moaning. Moaning means making painful noises. When we are sick, we make noises. He was about to start moaning. So he started moaning. He remembered he was just began to moan. What did he think? He remembered that if his aunt came to know, she would pull it out and that would hurt. Now he thought, he knows very well about his aunt. When his aunt will come to know about this loose teeth, she would pull it out and that would be more painful. So he decided to use the tooth as an excuse some other day. So he thought that this excuse of tooth I will use another day. Today I have to search something else. He went back to thinking of some other way to fake illness. So fake means to pretend, to show, झूठा दिखाना कुछ. वो he went back to thinking. So he again started thinking that what should I tell so that I may not go to school. He remembered hearing the doctor describe an illness that had caused a patient to lose a finger. Just then, a thing struck in his mind. He thought about an incident when the doctor told him that there is a disease in which a patient can lose his or her finger. The boy eagerly drew his sore toe from under the sheet and held it up for inspection. Eagerly means curiously. Drew means to take out. Sore means painful, hurt. What did he do? The curious boy took out his toe from the sheet and he looked it very closely. He started inspecting it. It seemed worthwhile to chance it, so he fell groaning on the bed. So he thought that it would be worthwhile, it would be important, it would be useful, that I can take chance upon it, that he will use his sore toe as an excuse. So he started groaning. Moaning and groaning has the same meaning. Painful, making painful noises. But Sid, his cousin, who lay in the next bed, slept on. Sid, his cousin, was sleeping peacefully. He didn't hear any moaning. He didn't get disturbed by the moanings made by Tom. Tom groaned louder. Tom started groaning louder, but no result from Sid. But Sid didn't move. He didn't wake up. Finally, he got up, shook Sid hard, and then went back to his bed groaning. Ultimately, he got up from his bed and shook. Shook means to move vigorously. He took hold of Sid and he shook him vigorously and then went to his bed and started groaning. Sid yawned. Yawn means it's a way when you open the mouth when you feel sleepy. Stretch and then brought himself upon his elbow with a snort and began to stare at Tom. Sid was finally waken up. Sid took yawning. He stretched himself and then he quickly looked at Tom, who was grinning. He stared at him. He looked fixedly at him. The Tom was groaning. It was a bad experience for Sid. He was really worried. Tom, what's going on? Asked Sid, frightened by the noise Tom was capable of producing. Sid asked Tom, what happened with you? Why are you making these kinds of painful noises? But there was no response from Tom's side. Hey Tom, what is the matter? Tom. Then he repeated several times. Sid repeated several times that what is the matter, Tom? Why are you groaning so loudly? Tom moaned out. Oh, don't, Sid, don't joggle me. He told Sid that don't disturb me, don't joggle me. Joggle me means to shake slightly. Don't move me, don't shake me, then don't disturb me. But I must. Don't groan like that, Tom. It's awful. Sid said, but I have to shake you. What happened? Why are you groaning? It's very awful means it's very dangerous. It's very fearful to hear your groaning. How long have you been groaning this way? For how much long time have you been making these kinds of noises? Hours. Oh, don't, Sid, I am dying. He said that I am crying for hours. Sid, don't disturb me, I am going to die. No, Tom, you ain't dying. It makes my flesh crawl to hear you. Tom, out of sympathy, Sid told that Tom, don't say these kinds of the word. You aren't dying. Makes my flesh crawl. It means I feel extremely scary to hear when you are saying that you are dying and you are making noises. What is the matter? I must call auntie. What is the matter? I'll just go and call auntie. I forgive you everything, Sid, said Tom in a fresh bout of groans. But Tom was just speaking without any meaning. He told that Sid, I forgive everything. Again he fresh bout of groans means again he cried out. Again he started groaning. When I am gone, you give my window sash and my cat with one eye to that girl who came to the town and tell her, Tom, since I will die soon because of this pain, so give my cat and window sash to the new girl who has come to the town. But Sid had flown upstairs and informed Aunt Polly. Sid was already very scared, so he didn't hear whatever Tom was saying. So he quickly fly. He quickly went away and informed Aunt Polly. Come quick, Aunt Tom's dying. Aunt Polly and he uh, told Aunt Polly ki auntie come quickly, Tom is dying. What rubbish! I don't believe it. Aunt said, what nonsense, rubbish. Beta, rubbish means garbage, but rubbish over here means nonsense, meaningless thing. What nonsense you are saying? I don't believe it. But the poor lady hurried upstairs with Sid and Mary at her heels. But poor lady, poor old lady, she quickly went to the upstairs with Sid and their maid Mary at her heels. At her heels means very quickly. Her face grew white and her lips trembled. Her face was white. It was bloodless because of the scare that she is feeling, and her lips were shaking. Trembling means moving, shaking. What's the matter with you, Tom? She cried. And she asked Tom what happened. Oh, auntie, my toe. Tom, as he has already made up in his mind, he show his toe to his aunt. What is the matter with your toe? She asked, what is the matter? It's okay. Oh, auntie, my sore toe is going to fall off. He told auntie, he is just feigning it. He is just expressing it that it is a much pain to him. He is told that his toe is going to fall off. The old lady sank down. The old lady sank down in a chair with relief. Now, the old lady. Who is old lady? Yes, Aunt Polly. Aunt Polly finally took a sigh of relief. She sat in the chair, sank down. She suddenly sat in the chair with relief. She laughed a little, then cried a little, then did both together. She was behaving like a mad person. She cried, she laughed, then she did both together. This made her feel better. Now she was feeling better because she has already understood that Tom is making excuse. Again, this is one of the excuse that he always makes. She said, Tom, you really did frighten me. She said that, Tom, you have scared me. Now you stop this nonsense and get out of your bed. Now you stop your nonsense talks. You are perfectly all right and get out of the bed. Tom felt foolish at his act now that he was caught. Now Tom was finally caught. And so he said, Auntie, my toe hurt so much that I wasn't worried about my tooth at all. Now he again, the idea of paining tooth again comes to his mind. So what did he say? Ki no, my toe was not hurting so much. It was my tooth that was paining. What's the matter with your tooth? Auntie said, what is the matter? It seems all right. Well, one of them's loose and it itches awfully. Itches means pain. Awfully means scarily, dangerously. Well, Tom said, one of my teeth is loose and it is paining. Open your mouth and let me see, said his auntie. Auntie told him to open the mouth. Yes, it is loose. All right, but you are not going to die because of that. Yes, your tooth is loose, but you are not going to die because of that. It is not such a problem. Mary, get me a silk thread and a chunk of fire out of the kitchen. She told Mary, the maid servant, to bring a silk thread a chunk of fire out of the kitchen. Tom said, "Oh, please, auntie, don't pull it out. It doesn't hurt me." Now Tom realized that aunt is going to remove her tooth now. So he pleaded her, "Oh auntie, please don't remove it, don't pull it. It will hurt. Please don't, aunt, I don't want to stay home from school. Oh auntie, please don't remove my tooth. I will not make excuse. I will go to school." "Oh, you do, don't you? So all this drama was because you thought you would get to stay home from school and go fishing. So all these excuses were not to go to school and go to fishing. Tom, I love you so much, but I am very unhappy with you." "Oh Tom, I love you so much, but I am not happy with you." Why, student, why she is not happy with him? Yes, because he always makes excuses for not going to school. "You seem to try every way you can do to break my old heart with your outrageousness." "Oh Tom, you always try to break my heart with your outrageousness," means shocking behavior. "With your shocking behavior, with your strange behavior, you always break my heart." By this time the dental instruments were ready. What were the dental instruments? Silk thread, chunk of fire. Yes, instruments were ready. The old lady fastened one end of the silk thread to the Tom's tooth with a loop and tied the other to the bedpost. The old lady fastened matlab tied, to tie. She tied one end of the silk to the Tom's tooth and another to the bedpost. Then she seized the chunk of the fire. Seized means to hold forcefully. She hold the chunk, the piece of fire, and suddenly thrust it almost into boy's face. And she pressurized it on the boy's face. The tooth hung dangling by the bedpost. Now the tooth was hanging, dangling means hanging freely by the bedpost now. So this is the story by Mark Twain. So student, I hope you must have understood. You will also take a reading by yourself. After that we will do word meaning.